zum afrikanischen Cocktail darf ich Ihnen jetzt Abu Musuuza ankündigen und dafür auch wieder zu der zweiten englischen Keynote switchen to English, because Abu is one of the leading authorities on social entrepreneurship in East Africa. In 2018, Abu stood down as Chief Executive Officer at Village Energy to work on his second social enterprise, Flip Africa. Abu is the Chairman Board of Directors at Village Energy, and I'm very pleased to welcome him today. Abu, the stage is yours, and let's surprise us with Flip Africa.
Thank you very much. A lot has been said about Africa, and I missed all of it because I don't speak German. It's very basic German. You'll be surprised that I studied German a little bit in high school. The other thing that I know about Africa is we do make very lethal drinks. So I hope you make it through my presentation as you're having that. But also, luckily, I don't drink at all. So clearly, I haven't missed anything about the cocktail from Africa. But I'm happy to be here. Probably my 10th time in Vienna. Love the city. I'm going to be speaking about the future of work and how it can and will impact tourism in the African continent. And a very good friend of mine, who's an Ashoka Fellow, is very big on tourism for people rather than for animals. And so I have dedicated this presentation to the faces in Africa. And I left out all the animals, so we can brush that stereotype aside. And I will start with this face. I can categorically say that this is not me, but this is my niece. And when my niece was born, what was a big cause for celebration very quickly turned into a very stressful period in my family's life. My brother, who had my niece, actually never had a formal job. He was never formally employed. And as a result, he basically continues actually to this date to rely on his family members, including myself, to even raise as little as $1 to move from one point to another. He's 42 years old. But also the fact that his daughter and he himself are living to a certain level, a life of indignity, that should they get one serious disease, then it's basically going to be a dire situation. But 20 years earlier, my brother was the victim of a system that has defined work in a certain way that has led to millions of young people in Africa to end up being defined as unemployed. And that definition of work is what we know as the 8-to-5 job. Now, I truly believe that that was a very Western way of defining what work is. And it works very well for economies where you can provide such kind of work for 95% of the population. But in Africa, a lot of this is completely inverted because our economies can only provide that kind of work for about a maximum of 15% of the population. And as a result, nearly 300 million young people are either under or insecurely employed. That means that they are not making enough money to protect themselves in the future. When old age comes, they have to pass that burden onto the next generation. And therefore, in Africa, we live in that cycle of supporting. And also, it's very difficult, speaking from experience, to build an enterprise in Africa because the weight of the burden from the previous generation lands on you. As soon as you graduate, then it's time to pay back to your parents because they invested a lot. They invested a lot in your education. The other tragic thing about being defined as unemployed is that you don't have access to social welfare benefits. All social welfare benefits on the African continent at least, come through your employment. Right? So government tasks your employer, to pay your social security in their behalf. Government tasks your employer to pay your health benefits. But since you're defined as unemployed, then you cannot get, that kind of protection. And so there needs to be a radical redefinition of what work is, at least on the African continent. And certainly around the world, this has started to happen. Right? With the advent of the freelancing movement, what we define as work now, is consistently changing. And that brings me to the tourism sector, and to this very good friend of mine that I alluded to earlier. About 20 years ago, this lady, and this is the only picture that has animals in it. This lady called Maria Mujura. I bumped into her when I was working at Ashoka, and my work then was to go around East Africa, trying to source social entrepreneurs who are creating the next big thing that is going to completely change the system, right? And so, in Uganda we have this road that goes towards the southwest. So it's a road that you would go to drive from Uganda into Rwanda and Burundi and parts of DRC. Now along that road, that's where 7 of the 10 national parks in Uganda are situated, right? So Maria was so bothered by the fact that a lot of tourists fly into Uganda, take that road, go deep inside the national parks, get out and go back to their countries without ever interacting with the humans, with the people. And so this is what she termed by, tourism for the animals, right? And, people were not involved, the people were not benefiting. It was just a few big tourism businesses that were taking all the dollars. And so Maria decided to redefine what tourism was. And she basically challenged everyone in Uganda to start looking at any cultural thing that you do should be tourism, right? So for those of you who have been on the African continent, culture is everywhere, right? Our African culture in the food, in the way we dress, in the way we do everything. Wake up in the morning, milk the cow, go to the well, cook the food, clean the compound, wash the clothes. So she wanted to turn all those aspects of African culture into tourism, and therefore begin to divert the tourist traffic off this main road and into people's homes. And then after that, they can continue and go into the national parks to visit the animals. So she was certainly not against visiting animals, but she saw a huge injustice in just visiting the animals and not the people. And so that's how she started COBAT, which is community-based tourism initiatives, which challenges tourists to basically go and stay with people in their traditional homes, experience what it means to live, a day, in a traditional African home, and participate in all the activities. Go to the shamba with them, milk the cow with them, prepare the food with them, live through their traditions. And that also began to push tourist dollars into the households of many people. And the remarkable thing is that once government saw that a lot of traffic was moving into people's homes, then it started to rethink the infrastructure development in those communities. And so what then happened was that the infrastructure and the general livelihoods of people began to change. But what was remarkable for me was the number of roles that began to pop up that were previously unseen in the tourist industry. Previously it was about the tour agent who connects you to to a hotel, and those were the few jobs. But now, literally everything was a job, and so that's where and that's our belief at Flip Africa. So I co-founded Flip Africa in order to do something radically different. How do we find new sources of work that have previously unseen, and therefore can remarkably change how we do work, how we engage in work, but also how we find and do work. And basically, what Flip Africa is it focuses on the largest sector in Africa, which is the micro, small, and medium enterprise sector. Ironically, governments across Africa recognize the micro, small, and medium enterprise sector as the biggest driver of the economy. However, they have not put any formal procedures, any infrastructure to make sure, that labor, and jobs in that sector are recognized and therefore can be pensionable, can attract health insurance and everything. And so that's what we're trying to do here. How do we go around the country collecting all, short-term work that exists in micro, small, and medium enterprises, and make it available to young people who have the qualification to do that work. And also, how do we provide the protections that are connected to that? That if I consistently do work, in a short-term nature over a year, can I then be, eligible for, access to credit? Can I then be eligible for health insurance and social security payments? So that then we begin to basically include this 85% of the population that has previously been neglected and not thought about a very period of time. What we have learned is that actually in this short-term work, or if you call it freelancing work, there's actually a much higher chance that people are going to make more money. In the young people that we have worked with so far, most of them have made more than above 50% above the median, the median earning for the national median, earning. So we have learned that this actually is viable, and that if harnessed well, and we actually estimate that there's about an unseen maybe 20 to 21 million jobs in the micro, small, and medium enterprises, simply because there's no structure on how to find them and how to connect people to them. But what we have also learned, and with the jobs that have come out of the tourism sector, is that there's a large amount of unharnessed work in this sector, which is unseen. People do it, but it hasn't been recognized, as a job. It hasn't been recorded, and therefore, if it hasn't been recorded, then the connecting benefits to that work, cannot be accessed, and so that's another huge lesson that we have learned. But the other thing that we have learned possibly is that the most important thing to young people is actually being upwardly mobile. That the biggest problem is that they are trapped into this cycle that because they have never had a job, they cannot find another job. Right? So the lack of experience keeps them trapped in this space, or in the 85%. And so building a new work profile and a professional identity is extremely important to these young people, based on the feedback that they've given us. And so that's why in our platform, every little job that you do, whether it's a 1 hour or a 1 week or a 1 month job, the system is automatically building a new work profile for young people. And so we're taking young people from being completely out of work to having this huge global profile that gives them this new face and new identity that then they can use to basically find better economic opportunities. What we have also seen is that there's an increasing blend of tourism and work. This picture actually took myself, the group of friends in Nairobi, who were at the bottom on the way going to climb Mount Longonot. But what was interesting is the dynamism that we had in this particular activity, with people coming with work and not really having to take a huge block of time off of work in order to do a tourist activity. Now, of course, the jury is out on whether that is good or that is bad, but increasingly young people are being more dynamic with their work. They're increasingly wanting to work in remote places, and they're increasingly seeking out places that gives them the freedom to think, or that removes the confines in doing the work. And so a lot of work actually happened on this particular trip, and many other trips that I've taken. So I think that in itself is a good thing, because it's going to broaden the participation in tourism. In Africa, we're seeing a lot of push towards domestic tourism, and not necessarily going to far places because of the huge cost. And so this infusing of work and tourism is increasingly broadening the participation in the space. That's a bride and groom from actually my tribe back in Uganda. But what we've learned is that our platform is increasing the reliability of work, because every young person who completes a job has to be rated for that job. And so we're slowly starting to turn young people's attitude towards work, because for a long time young people have lost the hope of finding work, and so they usually get into work with a very bad attitude, thinking that it's an opportunity that after all doesn't last. So we are increasing the reliability of young people, especially in tourism, in delivering services. But this is one of the big things, that we have to ensure fair pay. And so we basically run this escrow system that when you decide that you're going to hire someone, you have to deposit that entire amount of pay onto the platform, and we secure it for the young people to make sure that once the work is delivered, they get a full pay. In Africa, we have this very bad habit where, if a job is worth $100, someone could pay $50 and tell you the rest will come in the future. And that becomes a whole new, job trying to secure that $50. So we basically protect young people to make sure that they get the full payment based on their work. What we have learned as well is usually the small issues are the biggest roadblocks for young people. Now, because young people haven't had work and haven't had an income, they tend to basically fail to deliver important pieces of work because of small things. One example is someone that we basically got a job that was going to pay them about $100, but they actually failed to complete that job because they did not have, I think, the equivalent of about $1.50 to print a document, right? So we basically have very quickly learned that we tend to focus on the big things, but actually, the little things, such as that level of pocket cash. So some of the things that we're thinking about is through that escrow account that we run, we basically run a small fund that helps young people with working capital. We should never fail to basically complete a job because of $1.50. And so we continuously try and provide that, but because the money comes through an escrow, then we can probably in the future deduct that, but at least you've delivered that work. So our ambition is to basically reach a point where we're delivering 250,000 work experiences a month for young people across Africa. That's why we call ourselves Flip Africa. But as well, get about 5 million young people into social protections throughout the African continent. Thank you.
Thank you, Abu. Thanks, Abu. Very great project. Any questions to Abu? He also will join the discussion later, so okay. No questions at the moment. Thank you very much.